Something I've noticed this year, after being single for an entire year, being completely on my own, is something a little bit disturbing, to say the least. I've really been waking up. I've been going on this awakening journey of mine that I've been talking about. And I gotta say, this awakening journey has been happening for a couple years now, but really only got super kicked off during, C19. Something I've been noticing is that people feel robotic. You look into their eyes and it's like there's nothing there. Not everyone, of course, but enough that you can't ignore it. And even the ones who don't seem completely gone still feel like they're lacking depth, nuance, and critical thinking. Most people just float along with their algorithms. They believe whatever their echo chamber tells them. The news, their friends, strangers online, and a lot of them seem more focused on appearing virtuous as opposed to being authentic. Niceness has replaced honesty. Kindness has replaced truth. And everyone is walking on eggshells. We're terrified to offend anyone and terrified to say anything real. Censorship has become the new norm. Censoring yourself, political correctness, constantly trying to virtue signal. Oh my god, I notice it at my job. It's like we can't mention even like a rock band or something from the 80s without saying that they stole it from black people or indigenous people. I'm like, can we just move on already? It feels like you can't disagree with anyone anymore. You can't point out bad behavior. You can't say, hey, maybe you're falling for propaganda. People lose their minds over the smallest thing. And of course, with the death of authenticity goes the death of critical thinking and the desire for depth or curiosity. Social media is kind of perpetuating all of this. You don't have to think when TikTok can think for you. We don't need nuance when endless scrolling gives us instant answers. And kids can't read. Look up online on YouTube. Teachers quitting. You'll get thousands of videos talking about how kids can't read, how they're incredibly disrespectful, disruptive. And this is the generation that's coming up behind us. That's not good. Teachers talk about how students can't focus, how they can't comprehend complex ideas. They can't express themselves without the internet holding their hand. And it's terrifying. We're raising a generation that might not know how to think at all. We're closer to the movie Idiocracy than you think. People shambling around, drooling, staring at their phones. People are zombies. And it's not just the younger generations coming up behind us. It is my generation, the millennials, Gen Z. We might not have grown up with smartphones, a lot of us. But of course we're all addicted. Even boomers are addicted. I'm no better. But of course a few of us have stepped outside long enough to see it from a different angle, and that angle is lonely. It's isolating. It makes you feel crazy. But people who are asleep, people who are brainwashed by all of this shit, will tell people like me to be quiet, to obey, to sit down, to behave, to shut up, to water yourself down so you don't offend anyone. Be careful. But the goal of society shouldn't be nice. I have a YouTube video called Stop Being Kind. Because kindness is not always the answer in every single situation. And neither is acceptance. And the people who preach kindness and acceptance, they're rarely kind or accepting toward anyone they disagree with. They preach tolerance while practicing the exact opposite. It's wild to watch their hypocrisy, honestly. But this is what happens when people live in echo chambers. Empathy becomes selective. I only have empathy for those who agree with me, and no empathy for those who don't. I had someone online the other day say, I looked at your Instagram page and you preach wellness and mental health and, you know, all these like spiritual things, but yet you're friends with conservatives? That's not even possible. How's that not possible? How is that not possible? Conservatives are people too. And they have feelings, and they have families, and they have lives. I just can't believe that we've totally dehumanized each other. Like painting conservatives out to be monsters when they're not. Conservatives are more accepting than liberals, I'll tell you that much. A conservative will be friends with me any day, despite the fact that we disagree on many things. But if I say one thing I disagree with, a liberal with, oh my god. It's like they go off the handle and they can't be friends with you anymore. But that's the world we're living in. And imagine what the next generation will be like. Completely glued to screens, dependent on AI, unable to read. Fed a reality so curated, so restricted that it becomes a digital prison. Especially if they fall for digital IDs and whatever else is coming. Teachers online are quitting, like I said. Thousands of videos of them saying their students can't read, can't think, can't pay attention. We're moving from a low empathy society to what I predict is going to be a zero empathy society. It will be narcissistic, egocentric, especially when AI replaces jobs and people won't even have to leave their homes. No eye contact, no human interaction, no empathy. Empathy is taught. Empathy is taught through childhood. It is not something that we are naturally born with. We need to teach our children empathy. We need to teach our children emotional regulation. But instead, kids are being raised by the internet, iPad kids. They're products of algorithms, not parental teachings, not, you know, kids don't have mentors anymore. Because parents don't give a crap. It's all about what they can show online. And honestly, I don't know if there's a way back from this. Not unless we completely remove technology from children. No phones, no iPads, no internet until you're 18. If I were a parent, my kids would have books, art supplies, and real-world skills. They'd be in a school where phones aren't allowed. I'd be watching who their friends are. I'd be making sure my kid had a purpose. Because kids today don't see a future. They don't see a point. College for what? When AI might take your job by the time you graduate after paying $100,000 for your schooling? It's a joke. It's a scam. Believe me, I totally see what, you know, Gen Z sees. You know, the boomers had motivation. They had the motivation of the American dream. Gen Z doesn't have anything to work towards. And I know people will see this, get defensive, call me crazy. They said the same thing 10 years ago when I was talking about this stuff. And the things that I said then are happening now. And it's not because I'm special, because I'm smarter than you. It's because I decided at a young age to see things from an objective perspective. When I was a liberal and I saw the Liberal Party crashing, when I saw them acting like children, I decided to leave that party. And I didn't resonate with the Conservative Party either. So that's when I decided to kind of just start critically thinking and thinking for myself. And it didn't happen overnight. I didn't, see everything all at once. It kind of came to me in baby steps, in small little chunks. But guess what? The things I'm saying now, in this video, and in my channels, are going to happen in the next 10 years. Again. Unless something massive changes. And honestly, I really doubt that that's gonna happen, because our leaders are not the people that we see. It's not Trump, it's not Kamala Harris, it's not the Republicans, and it's not the Democrats. It's the billionaires. And the billionaires want power, they want control, they want mindless drones. So they're not gonna help us. They're not gonna change the world for the better. They'll change the world for the worse, that's for sure. But of course I'm worried about the future. I'm worried about your future, about my future. But I guess there's always a silver lining, and there are ways around it. Don't make AI your therapist or your best friend, but do use it to your advantage. If you can't beat the system, use the system. Learn the tools, stay ahead instead of getting swallowed up. And if you're a deep thinker in this shallow world, you're not alone. You're rare, but you're not alone. There are others like you, and we can navigate this. We can teach our kids to navigate this. Awareness is everything. I mean, once you're aware, you can adapt, pivot, and prepare. So all I can say is, keep thinking deeply, keep questioning things, keep paying attention, and continue taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. I appreciate you listening, and if you like content like this, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And follow my socials. It's similar content, but in bite-sized form, if you don't have time to watch full-length videos all the time. You can definitely get me in bite-sized chunks. And I'll leave you off with something good. I'll leave you with something really nice here. My kitty cat. My kitty cat. Oh yeah. She has her own Instagram as well. Tutti_, aka Toot. If you gotta get some positivity in your life and you need a little kitty cat, she's there for all your needs. Yes, she is. She's a good girl. Until next time, stay aware and love cats.